All right. Agricola,
Hello.
you've made your way into town nice and early, knowing that the Baker game especially is one that happens first thing in the morning. You arrive with your son being incredibly petulant. You guys also have been kind of fighting and spatting this whole trip. And he was incredibly disrespectful and has been spending the entire morning sullen, not speaking at all, just sitting in the cart.
Child sits in back of cart. Doesn't
Sitting in the
accept
back
where
of the cart.
the bumpiest part of the cart.
And every time it hits a bump, he makes one of those, you know, the 13-year-old sound.
I don't understand these youths.
You'd understand me a little bit better if you paid attention to me. Maybe ask what I thought for once. Stupid old man.
When I was your age, I wouldn't just ask my parents to listen to every word I said. I listened to them. I do my work.
Yeah, and how far did that get you?
Got me here, boy.
Yeah, with a cart full of moldy grain.
You shut your mouth. This grain is fine. Just a little smelly, like all grain is.
Yeah, grain doesn't smell like that, Dad. These people aren't stupid. Dude, we should have just left it.
Well, let's not go around making ridiculous accusations like that. You've been to the city. Everyone there is stupid. They move too fast. No have time to slow down and say, "Ooh, this grain moldy, this grain not moldy." They don't know. They know what I tell them. This grain is good.
Whatever.
That's right.
He goes back to just sulking silently as you kind of bounce down the road, headed towards the corner of the market where all the bakeries are, hoping to kind of unload some of your sacks of grain before the day gets too busy. Do you want to take your son with you, or do you want to send him off to run some other errands?
I do not trust him with errands. He sees me. He sees how good work gets done.
All right. Why don't you also make me a luck roll?
Okay, I'll take my die out of my lovely little die chest that I painted.
Oh. Is that a goblin from McPherson Miniatures?
It is a goblin from McPherson Miniatures that I got to paint.
Another one. Wow, those are wonderful quality miniatures sold by McPherson Miniatures.
That is a 4, and my luck is +1, so that is a 5.
Outstanding.
Agricola got it again. Still got it. Ugh.
So you, after your conversation with your son this early in the morning as you're entering the town, there isn't much more argumentation from him. He stays pretty quiet. You don't hear him mention anything about the fact that the grain smells a little funny to any of your potential customers. And you enter the bakery of Astra, the Penefax.
Astra, what is your husband's name?
Faustius. But for the purposes of this, Astra, why don't we say that Faustius is ill. He's got unsettled bowels this morning, so you will be handling all of the business today. That will also make for some fun role playing later on.
Then yeah, I wanna walk in, greet Astra, greet Astra, like grab her shoulders, give her a kiss on each cheek, and say, "Hello, good Astra. How was your grain this morning?"
My grain? What I have left is suitable. How is your grain this morning?
My grain is the freshest you'll find in town.
Is it? Well, I must inspect it.
Of course.
All right. Why don't you make a knowledge facts? And Agricola, make a luck roll for me as well.
Yeah, I'll do that.
The 2, because it was a 1 and my modifier is a 1.
Listen, I've been in this trade a long time, and I can tell you that was a 7.
A 7.
Finger guns.
As far as you know, Astra, usually your husband is the one that deals with the buying of the grain. It's one of the few things that he actually takes initiative with around the bakery, leaving all of the little things, like the making and baking of bread to you. But he always insists on selecting only the finest grains for himself, and he doesn't trust anyone else to do it. But you've seen him buy grain enough. You generally know what he's looking for, so you feel pretty confident. And this looks like very quality grain.
Oof. Can I haggle on the price a little bit?
You will try.
Well, since he's not here today and hasn't been feeling well, I have needed to go to the apothecary, and that is quite expensive. Would you be so kind as to give an extra bushel?
Mm. The apothecary is getting much more expensive these days, but that is getting expensive for all of us. If I'm being honest, I'm a little short on coin as of late as well, but I would like to help your baker has bought many grains. You have been good to me. How about we say I will give you an extra bushel today, and next month you will pay extra for it when coin is a little better in stock.
Okay.
Nothing will change between now and then, so this should be a great deal for me.
Yeah, and so you're actually able to unload most of your grain here. The Panafax has been very busy, rather successful lately. So you're actually a little skeptical when she says that money is tight, because you hear things. And the other bakers know that Astrid has been doing pretty well. But you're also really desperate to unload that grain.
I have to feed the donkey, and I give it some grain.
All right, you're going to take this opportunity to feed your donkey?
Yes, I assume she needs the extra grain to feed donkey, and you must feed your animals if they're going to work for you. So I understand.
All right, but you Agricola managed to make it out of there with a fair bit of coin in your pocket, and only your more luxurious wares to sell, the fruits and things like that.
Agricola. I would like to buy some plums, please. All of them.
All of them?
For 2 denarii.
Say again?
2 denarii.
2 denarii for plums? You want all of them for 2?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can get many plums for 2 denarii from some other seller, but if you want good plums, ripe and fresh, 2 denarii is not going to cut it. I'm sorry, little girl, but that's the way the plum rolls.
Don't haggle with me.
I'm not haggling. This is the price that I have.
What's the price?
Well, how many plums do you actually want?
All of them.
All of them? Well, I have a batch of 30 plums, which will bring you about, if you're a respectable family, so I can bring it down a bit from my usual price and say all in all, maybe 10 denarii, maybe 9 for...
Do you think I'm a fool just because I'm a young, innocent girl?
No, I think you want good plums. You don't want cheap plums that will rot in a day.
Look, there's brown spots on them anyway. Look, that one's moldy. Oh,
that's not mold. That's
the back of your cart. Hello, my name's Flavia. I'll have all the
my
plums.
son. Boy, tell her that we have the finest plums in town. She can go elsewhere if she wants terrible plums.
Yes, mistress. Our plums are delicious, ripe and juicy. I picked.
Will you give me a good price for them, then?
Of course. Father, there must be something we can do for such an enchanting young lady.
That who carries the plums to my father's villa.
Yes, I'll carry the plums, Father, and that way, you still get to stay here with the cotton. You would probably be able to tell just from sight that she's not quite a patrician. She doesn't quite have that air about her, but her clothing is. She doesn't look like the type of person that should be buying plums.
Yes. Okay. Well,
but
then
she does look like the type of person whose family might buy a lot of things if you strike a good relationship with them.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll mark it down to 5 denarii, and the boy will bring it straight to your house. Is that a fair deal?
Oh, thank you. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay.
All right. So the Agricola's son and Flavia start to make their way back to the villa.
And I head to the tavern, like smiling to myself. Enjoy those 2 denarii plums, you little girl.
You're trying to get the donkey to run the mill, and it's acting a little strange.
I'm going to check on the donkey and also take a look at his surroundings, because he's been with my family long enough that I know that when he acts funny, I should check his food and water.
All right, yeah. So you look and it, you notice as you approach the trough where you put the grain for him to eat, you're getting a really. Actually, make a knowledge check.
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Again. So I have a 2.
All right. Yeah, so the donkey seemed to have eaten all the grain. It seemed very, very, it seemed to enjoy it, but it is just acting very strange. You kind of take a look at it. Its breath smells really bad. It's got a strange kind of look in its eye, and it's trying to pull the grindstone, but it's stumbling.
So much for being a good
You're able to
farmer.
tie him up.
Guys, I will leave this game.
You tie him up. You're the one. I'm not even going to say what you did, Mr. Agricola.
I'm just an unsuspecting
Oh no!
fire.
Oh no!
Wait,
Are
what?
you just now realizing what you've done?
Yeah, I didn't.
So do you want, Agricola, do you want to share with us out of game what your secret is? I think it would be helpful both to the other players and for the people watching.
Well, I thought it was clear by what my son was saying, but yeah, my grain is very moldy because my barn broke the other day, which is why I want to fix it, and some rain got in and got all pretty much all my grain moldy.
You killed the donkey.
I may have killed the donkey. I will murder myself on the top of this mountain. That is if.
Oh, don't worry. Karma's going to come quick.
There is no, I will say that while the donkey is not in mortal peril from what you have done. Now, it may cause the donkey to be in a situation of mortal peril further on.
I'll pick it up. I'll carry it out of this thing. Yeah, can I make like a I want to search for him.
Yeah, why don't you both make knowledge rolls?
Okay.
Carlos and the Agricola.
Ooh, that's a 6.
I got a 3.
You got a 3. So you are just kind of wandering, Talos.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, Agricola, you decide that you can't wait here all day for this barbarian. There are other people in town. You know, you do know of an olive oil merchant that you may be able to unload these olives on. Probably not at the best price, but you're just done waiting for him. So as you are weaving through the market, heading for this olive oil seller, you do run into a a barbarian meeting the description of the one you were looking for.
I want to like walk up behind him and tap him on the back with my cane.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he taps you on the back, as soon as you hear something tap your back, there is a earth-shattering boom that everyone hears all throughout the city. The ground shakes, a boom louder and longer than any thunderclap deafens the town. If you look, everyone kind of looks up instinctively after they get their feet, and you see that the top of the nearby mountain, Vesuvius, is gone. A pillar of burning cloud is punching into the sky, higher than you could possibly imagine. It definitely seems like the gods are angry. Vulcan himself seems to be pushing through the earth, coming out of Mount Vesuvius.
Okay, never sneak up on a barbarian. Got it.
Yeah.
So, as you are kind of giggling, flirting with this young farm boy, there is the boom and the earth starts to shake. You are walking by the Panafax, their shop, and at the time that the explosion goes off, this donkey that's been just feeling very out of it absolutely panics. Wide-eyed, its mouth appears to be frothing, and it breaks the rope that was tying it to the fence and rushes out of the courtyard. It knocks into you, Astra, and you fall into the grindstone and break your leg. So you're going to take a -1 on all future speed and strength rolls. You're going to really need help from another player. As the donkey rushes out of the courtyard, the farmer's son is startled. He drops his basket of plums. They go rolling everywhere. Sponsor trip on one of these, and then are subsequently trampled by this panicked donkey.
Oh man.
Murdered by a donkey.
You are in a very bad way. The donkey
trampled.
appears to have stepped on your head. You are still alive,
Mhm.
however, unconscious and completely helpless.
Question.
That's gotta suck.
Did
Yes.
she get trampled or the plums get trampled?
Both.
It's me and the plum.
Ah, not the
My
plums.
blood and the plum juice are staining the
No
cobblestone.
one will buy them if there's blood on them.
So here's what I'll say. We will consider you to have the cart with you. As long as you are doing that, you're going to take a -1 to speed rolls while you are guiding this cart.
You got it.
All right. Which, I mean, not too bad. So why don't Talos and Agricola, both of you, please make a speed
Could
roll.
be worse.
Not too bad. That is a 6.
A 6. Excellent.
I got a 5.
A 6 and a 5. Wonderful. So luckily your donkey is fairly large and kind of aggressive. It is just headbutting people out of the way. And you both find that you can actually make really good time on the cart. If you want to ride the cart instead of walking through the streets. The donkey just kind of pushes its way through everyone. And you see a there's a big hubbub a little ways down. There appears to be a donkey just going crazy, just kind of panicking and knocking into stalls and carts and people, and the people are panicked, and that's scaring the donkey more.
Okay. I put the kid down, and I'm gonna try and go use my barbarian mojo to calm the donkey.
All right.
Yeah.
What would that be?
I see Telos going over, and I say, his name is Azenos.
Okay.
How do you know my donkey's name?
Oh, sorry. I thought this was my donkey. Sorry. There's only one donkey. There's so many donkeys in this store. I get confused.
Two donkeys right now. Two donkeys.
Technically, you have a horse, Agricola.
Oh, he has a horse. Oh,
Yeah.
that's why it's easy for you to get through. Yeah,
Yeah.
easy for you to get through. I just assumed that traders.
Well, my horse is named Azinus,
All right.
which is Latin for donkey.
Okay. I think what I will do then is that I'm going to go up and I'm going to handle this the Gallic way, and I'm going to wrestle this thing the way that I would any of my horses if they were being rough. So,
right.
yeah,
Be
I'm
the
just
big
gonna,
bad barbarian and wrestle
That's right.
this donkey.
I'm gonna like come up to it. I'm gonna grab it around its neck and I'm gonna force it to the ground until it calms down. So,
All right.
That
Yep.
always makes me real calm when people do that to me.
oh
So.
yeah, well, I know domination.
Donkey wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm a donkey wrestler.
Wow, this went incredibly poorly. I got a 2 with my bonus. So
You got a 2.
I got a 2. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah,
I-
you get.
I'm
you
about to
run
get
up
kicked
to
in
the
the
donkey.
face, aren't I?
You run up to the donkey and get back kicked almost immediately.
Oh.
It
That's
lands
gonna be
right.
hard.
It kicks you right in the chest.
Oof.
You feel a crack.
Okay.
Hurts.
Yeah. I've been there.
So you head over to help Talos, the barbarian, as he appears to draw himself erect again, look very angry, and he's about to attack your donkey.
Have to lay a beat down on this thing.
I step between the two of them and shout, "Stop."
That I recognize.
All right. Make a luck roll.
A 5.
A 5. Excellent. So yeah, you say stop. And yeah, the barbarian understands it, so he kind of stops. And at the sound of your voice, the donkey actually turns to look at you. And you can see it looks like its eyes look really glassy, and it's almost foaming at the mouth a little bit. And you can kind of, with some difficulty, lead it back to your shop if you want.
Yes. And then I would like to bring it to its safest enclosure in our small barn. Do we have a barn?
Yeah, you would have a stall for it.
It's going in the stall. It's been pretty ornery. And
Yeah, you managed to get the donkey in the stall. It's just more than you can deal with right now. Agricola, you, as far as you are concerned, you've delivered this injured woman. So she's not really your problem anymore. There's a bunch of very expensive things on the ground in front of you and a lot of chaos. And you still need to get out of the city.
I want to turn to this woman and say, would you and your family like a ride out of the city? I have a good horse and an empty cart.
Oh, yes, we'll pay you quite handsomely for the service.
Oh, please. I mean, if you insist, of course, but.
Yeah, and she, some of her, the service servants come out along with her son and husband. Yeah, you are able to find the chief's relative. We'll call him. Let's see, what's a good Gaulish barbarian name?
Dave.
Dave the barbarian.
The chief's son, Davo. And Davo is seems to one of the he's down underneath the baths where the boilers are. And the passageway that you go down to find him appears to be blocked. You can see him on the other side of it through some of the debris. There's a bit of a gap, but it's not big enough for either one of you to fit through.
Okay.
So make a strength check for me to clear some of that debris.
And that has a -1 because of the donkey. Everything goes back to this donkey.
Let me see. Oh, I got a
Donkey, I ditched it.
2.
A 2. Yeah, so start kind of pulling stones, but as you do, this pile of rubble and collapsing architecture starts to shift in really dangerous ways.
Oh, the damn murder mule.
You're first to stop and kind of step back.
Okay.
Agricola, you have a whole cart full of patricians, nobles. You're quite wealthy at this point too. You've been given they hurriedly shoved a healthy sum of gold.
Yeah, you just get my dowry, basically, right?
Yes, good. It is good price for Agricola today.
And so what do? Do you just start hauling butt to get out of the city?
Yes, I mean, as far as I've been told, this is her family, and there's not like other people. So like, she's shouting about a dog, but like, and I do want to find her dog, but if like the dog's like not in the house, I don't know where the dog is. The family doesn't seem to know where the dog is. Like,
make a speed check.
-1, right?
No.
You said, but it was a donkey before, and now we know that it is a horse. So.
Now we know that it is a horse. No, I don't think that you take any negatives.
Sweet.
Because of that really awesome luck roll you rolled immediately afterwards. So you're riding the cart rather than leading it.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, would I get another plus for that?
Yeah. You know what? It is a horse pulling your cart.
So that would be a 4 then.
A 4. It's a good thing you got that extra plus.
So I'm gonna roll knowing that I have that token, and I'm going to try to find my dog.
Will they carry over to other phases?
They do. They carry over.
Okay, so you can hold on to that
to get another turn.
All
you
right.
get
And then so
1 to get
a reroll.
A reroll.
And 2 to take another action. Okay. So Flawia, go ahead and take your turn. After you take your turn, Talos will get another opportunity to make that strength check.
Yep.
I got a 6 to find my dog.
Asbelos comes bounding out of your compound and leaps into the back of
Starts licking the blood off my face. It's a whole thing.
You do not, however, your compound seems pretty quiet.
Mater!
No one else is answering your calls as you kind of trundle by. Do you want to try and convince people to go and look for the rest of your family, or?
Yeah, I want to try and convince them, but I don't know how useful I'm going to be to try and look for them myself. So I'm not I'm not going to leave this cart because you
won't leave this. So you'll try and convince them to help you, but if you can't do that, you're not going to leave the cart.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to appeal to this greedy Agricola, and I'm going to be like, look, I have a huge dowry. There's a locked chest with 500 denarii. We must find my parents. Like there's more money inside. If we can get them, they will pay you handsomely for a space in this cart. I'm sure they'll pay you handsomely for saving my life.
These are not your parents?
No, those are my in-laws.
Oh, okay. Well, your folks are probably already making their way out to the city. I don't think
we should check though, shouldn't we?
When you say that they're your in-laws, Agricola's son, his face just crumbles. Well,
I'm not married yet. I mean, we're
getting make a knowledge roll to try and convince Agricola that it's best interest to help.
Oh, finally, I'm rolling okay. I got a 5. I do have a bonus to knowledge. So
I think you have
a 6.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll tell you what. Tell me where this dowry is. I'll bring it back and give it to you. I'm not gonna take it, but I'll give it to you. I'll run through your house. If I see anyone, they have a space on my cart. Okay, I'll be right back. And I also want to say, like, Marcellus, keep the cart going at a slow speed, but a constant speed. I'll run back and I'll hop on the cart.
And because you got a 6, your fiance and future father-in-law also jump off the cart to go and help Agricola. Look,
we don't all need to like.
If you're broke, there's no real reason for you to be marrying their son. So it's pretty important for them to rescue that dowry as well. Family. So they jump out. Get a good number of young and injured and elderly folks into the cart. Their families are helping kind of push
Praise
the cart.
the gods! Praise the gods! We must please the gods by saving all the babies.
So your first player turn is going very well. Astra, you are one of these injured people that is riding in the cart with your broken leg and your mild concussion. One of the kids that appears to be separate, that doesn't have family helping push the cart, starts crying for their mother and jumps off the cart and begins to wade through the ash, heading back the opposite direction towards the city, trying to find her parents. Agricola, what are you doing while all of this is happening?
I look at Astra and I say, "Where's your mule? I don't see it around here."
It's back in the barn.
You left it?
It was ill.
Is it locked?
It is.
You have the key?
Of course.
Give it to me.
Here.
So you are quite a ways away from. You are 3 turns away from the farm right now.
3 turns.
Yeah, the 2 turns from last round, and now the first turn of this round.
I turn to Marcellus and say, "I must do this for our family. If I do not return, you are the man now, and I trust you. Keep this cart still and keep it steady."
Hold on. Is the purpose of this suicide mission to rescue the donkey?
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we're clear on your motivations here. It's all
Ride the donkey out. It'll be fine if he's on the back of the donkey.
Ride the donkey.
Yeah, if you're on the back of the donkey, you might make it. All right.
Yeah. So I want to like I say goodbye to Marcellus, like tell him to be strong, tell him to keep this cart steady, and then I want to run as fast as I can through the sludge. And as I do, I want to like pick up the child by the stomach and just keep running.
Make a. So now you're dragging this child deeper into the city, being covered in ash.
They were going there anyway. I'm taking them out with me. They'll ride in the
Make a
back.
speed check. Make a speed check.
It's a 6.
A 6. Nice.
Ones and you're getting 6s.
Well, I rolled 5 + 1, so.
So yeah.
Agricola is good at what he does. You have to understand. He does not do things he's not good at.
I'm changing the name of this game to Donkeii.
Is that a 6? Outstanding. Yeah, you find a rather large vessel. It looks like it's large enough to carry everyone that is currently in your cadre, and it's actually one of your father's.
Yes.
It's one.
It's one of our fishing vessels.
He doesn't own it, but he owns stock in the ship. So the captain knows who he is. They have a good working business relationship.
Save the children. Put the children on first, and my dog, and me.
So we end this round. No. Talos, you still have a second turn, and so does Agricola. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
But
was gonna say, I need all the turns I can get, boy.
and you guys are the ones that aren't with the cart. So the cart ends this phase, unloading onto a merchant vessel, hoping to push off into the Bay of Naples and get as far away from this cataclysm as possible. Agricola,
Yo.
you are close outside the Panafax's bakery. Child in tow. You hear panicked braying.
I
want
watch
to-
this murder mule just like ruin this.
Yeah. I want to.
this donkey to die. Are you kidding me? This donkey nearly killed me.
I want to make my way around back. I want to use the key to open the door. Sort of shield the child back as I open the door, and calm the donkey depending on what I see once I open the door.
All right, yeah, make a luck roll.
It's a 4.
A 4. Yeah, luckily the roof has not collapsed. You make your way out into the courtyard, and there are drifts of ash about waist high. But because the donkey's in an enclosure, the donkey's enclosure is also seemingly undamaged.
Just hide out here for the rest of the day. I'm not doing that.
The donkey, however, is kind of still thrashing and panicky and foaming.
Yeah, I want to try to calm it
Knowledge
down.
roll to see if you know why this is happening.
I feel like I know why it's happening. Can I roll to calm it down?
Sure, that would also be knowledge. And because you do know that it was your grain, I'll give you a +1 to that knowledge roll.
That is a 5 + 1.
Outstanding.
6.
6. So you, thinking quickly, take some of the, there's bits of ash, and some of the outbuildings have been kind of burnt, and so you gather up some bits of charcoal and kind of force it down this donkey's throat, and sit there and massage its throat and its stomach for a little while. It kind of belches up this gross, now black and charcoaly muck, but it definitely seems to straighten up a little bit, we'll say. It wasn't a fatal dose of spoiled grain. It was just enough to make it ill and maybe slightly hallucinate.
Listen, it was just a bit moldy. It's
It was almost the donkey was a bit drunk, basically. Yeah, so you've got the donkey, you've got it relatively stable now. You are still at the Panafax's home, but you now have a functional donkey that you can attempt to ride out of here.
Can I do that with my extra turn?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
Both of your tokens for this extra turn.
Yeah. And that's a speed?
That is a speed.
And I assume based on previous things, I would get a +1 since I'm riding a donkey.
You are riding a donkey. I will give you the +1. I have set the precedent.
That's a 2, so a 4.
A 4. Oh, yeah. So you manage to. You don't end your turn at the docks, but you are within sight of the dock. Make a luck check, a luck roll, to see if you find your cart and your little cadre of folks.
Daniel, that is a 6 + 1.
A 6 plus another 7, man.
I don't think you can see it with this background screen, but I have rolled again a total of 7. I find my child and I embrace him the way that Latin men do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find you are able to get everyone through. You've held on to the child. You find your group, and with that roll, you do end this phase, loading onto the ship with everyone else.
Yes, the donkey was saved. The real MVP.
Agricola, you are helping with the loading, I assume.
Yes, making sure that everything that is mine. Is a cart going on the ship?
No.
It
No.
probably shouldn't, but would you like the cart to go on the ship? Are you going to try and insist that it be loaded on?
I think I would insist my horse come on, but not the cart. I can leave the cart.
And what about
But don't put the cart before the horse.
all of the goods and gold and jewelry that you have acquired?
I think I would load that on and put it in a spot that's mine, kind of thing.
Okay. Make a strength check to see how much you can get loaded
Even with my son.
with your son.
That's I believe a 3. Yes.
So you are not really able to get, you don't see Marcellus anywhere. So you're trying to unload this stuff.
Boy.
He ditched the cart and just ran onto the boat. You're not able to get much on. You get a few things on. You notice that the sponsor's dowry chest is still in the cart. And how much is in that? Is that 500 Oris?
Mm-hmm.
There are 500 gold Oris in a cart, in a chest. You can bring that onto the boat. But if you do, you will not have the time or energy to get the donkey onto the boat with you. Buy a lot of donkeys with 500 gold Oris.
I could, but I did tell her that I would not take it.
That is true.
I told her I would get it for her and look for her family, but listen, I'm a businessman, but I'm not a con man. Like, I'm not going to take your money.
It's my dowry.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
and they've also promised you a significant portion of it as a reward.
Yeah, but it is not mine to take care of. It is hers, and I have worked hard for this donkey, and Agricola is a man who wants money to take care of himself, but he's a man of principle. He swindled someone, and this donkey suffered for it. So this donkey is his problem. This dowry is not his problem. And maybe he can get it later, but maybe he'll find it in the water. Maybe it'll still be here when he gets back, but it is not his problem.
That is very noble. So you abandon the dowry chest, you get the donkey onto the ship, and get yourself stowed away. You do find Marcellus; he's safe, and the ship is preparing to shove off. As you are kind of looking around from your new vantage point where you're sitting. You're not going below decks. You're kind of trying to leave that for
Got a basket over my head.
But you do notice that your dowry is still sitting on the cart as they're getting ready to push the boat away.
I mean, I might try and tell these boys to go get it for me. I got a 6, so I'm gonna say.
Well, it's up to you what you choose to do. I mean, if you no longer have a dowry, probably don't have to.
Yeah, I don't want to get married, and I don't think I care about my dowry. I'm a rebellious teen, so I think I'm just gonna take the scar, and in the future, I'm gonna make my living telling this story to people at fancy dinners and sort of. I don't know. Though I kind of want the money. I think I want the money. I think I'm gonna go for the money. I'm
gonna probably take the money and then disappear in the chaos.
I'm gonna tell him, be like, Marcellus, see if you can get that chest before the boat goes off. But if you can't get it,
so you're gonna tell Marcellus to do it.
Yeah.
Marcellus is infatuated with you.
Yeah.
And he will definitely go and attempt this. Let's see, Agricola. I'm gonna let you roll as Marcellus. He's young. He's none too bright. He's infatuated with this woman.
Might be my chance to run away with Marcellus.
He's imagining that he's going to rescue the dowry. They're going to run away together, and he's be independently wealthy. And so he starts back for the cart as you are loading the donkey on. He passes by you. Are you going to?
For the sake of my child, my one and only son, would his strength roll be the same as mine?
We're going to say that everything is the same as yours. But first, make a knowledge roll to see if you even notice him going past you. Because you're trying to get this donkey on board.
That is a 4.
You do notice him. And you can attempt a strength roll to just grab him and stop him.
Yeah. I'm gonna let my son go back for some money for a girl. That's a 6.
Yeah, you go.
5 plus 1.
Right as he steps off the boat, you jump down and kind of grab him and turn him away. But as you do so, you realize that, well, now there's two of you. You both grab the chest. And rather than trying to convince him not to do it, you just help him. You're able to get the dowry onto the boat. You're both on the boat safely.
Can I just? I imagine since I rolled a 6, I imagine that he like grabs onto my crook and like leans over the side, and I'm holding the ropes of the boat as he just like leans over and he like swoops down as the ship keeps going, and he just grabs the dowry in his hands.
I mean, it's a fairly heavy box.
And then winks at.
He's a strong young man.
Marcellus. Oh.
Yeah, so the Sponsa, the Agricola, and the Panifax, all three of their families and a number of children and other wounded people all shove off from the docks. The people man some of the oars to get as far away as they can, and as this wall of heat kind of engulfs the city, the hot air pushes, forces its way through the city and actually fills your sails and pushes you farther away from the city and out of harm's way. You guys are in the Bay of Naples watching as ash and fire and just hellish destruction bear down on Pompeii, and you know that your lives will never be the same. Pompeii is lost.